You're listening to Mind Over Money, presented by Waymaker.
Hey Archie.
G'day Lachlan.
G'day. We were starting today's episode. We had another topic in mind, and then we got on the topic of awareness. And so we're just going to change gears here and talk about being aware in our finances.
It's a good topic.
Yeah. We were talking about this just before we hit record. So awareness is the first step to making pretty much any good decision. Being aware of how we're thinking, how we're feeling, how we're acting or reacting is the basis of how we enter making decisions. And there are a lot of decisions to make in our finances and our relationships. And no decision is going to be perfect, but if we can be aware of the influences around us, the seasons that we're in, and who's with us on that journey, we can make better decisions. And so we thought, why not talk about this? So to do that, we're going to take you guys through 3 things that we can be aware of when it comes to our finances.
Yeah, sounds good. One of the key things here with, awareness is getting to the underlying assumptions that we're making about ourselves and others. And, even about markets and how we feel about things, it's really important to get to those underlying assumptions that we have there because they're having a big impact on us.
So the first point of being aware is actually the awareness of the influences around us. So, we're all being influenced by people and environments, whether we notice or not. I was at the AFL on the weekend and I was just noticing, I became aware of the ads that they were running within the stadium. They had crypto ads, there was insurance ads, a lot of gambling ads. What kind of ads have you seen when you're at the sports, Archie?
Oh, mate, when I go back to a kid playing AFL, the number one ads were cigarettes and alcohol.
Right. Yeah. And there's even more now. When you're watching TV as well, we stopped just before and we're like, what are the sort of ads we see on TV? And, these days, the prime TV spots, you've got general insurance, the insurance companies, you've got the banking ads, takeaway food, like your KFCs and all that. Food delivery apps are another big one. So, yeah, there's a real focus of companies there that are advertising to us. What other kind of influences?
Well, we can say that, this is all about brand awareness, especially the companies and the businesses are picking up on what it is that people are buying into. And then they're creating, an awareness of their brand and their particular place in the market. But yeah, look, there's just so many places, isn't there? That like there's the Aldi catalog, there's Facebook feeds, YouTube feeds, and so all of these places are making us aware. We've got to decide: is that something we actually do want to be aware of, or is there something else that we should be looking at?
Even in our inbox. So I unsubscribed from a news daily digest that I got to my email every day. It's got nothing to do with finances, but just the way that these articles were being written were just really invoking fear and drama. And I get these at like 6 a.m. And so I was like, I can't do this anymore because I was being aware of how it's setting up my mind for the day. And so, yeah, just being aware of what are those influences. And, we can pick them up in so many different places, from the podcast, the books, friends and family, the Aldi catalog. And, by being aware of these influences in our life, we can help us make choices to best navigate those influences and even place limits on them if we know we're going to have a bad reaction to them.
Yeah, because we've got to come back to assumptions here. And years ago, I was going to property conferences and, they're spruiking about property. So to make property look good, they directly attacked superannuation. And so they made out that superannuation was bad so that property looked really good. Now, they had an underlying assumption that people were coming to those meetings because people already had that assumption. People were already afraid of superannuation or, had something there that they didn't like about superannuation. And so they wanted to look at property as another option. And that marketing company, and there was many of them, understood that, and so they reinforced that with people to get them to buy the property that they were selling.
And usually through their self-managed super fund. That's what I'm sensing here.
Yeah.
That they're really going after the self-managed super funds. Yep.
Yeah. And look, they definitely didn't have people's best interest in heart. They were focused on selling a product, which was property that they were developing. And so that's what they went after. I mean, KFC, the only way they make money is to sell KFC. So, they're so that's what they're, they've got a product and they're selling it.
Yeah. Okay, so awareness of the influences around us. The second one is awareness of the season that we're in. And we were talking about this last week, Archie. My wife and I are going through a season at the moment, which is different to the season we've been in before. And we were just reflecting about this with the lens of our finances and looking at what decisions do we need to make or change, or areas that we probably just need to just give ourselves a bit of grace and maybe even pull back a little bit. So what do you see in different seasons? How does it affect our finances? What do we need to be aware of?
So, yeah, every season carries its own stress. So we've got different stresses that are coming into play. So, just imagine, you're sending your kids off to school for the first time. Well, that's got its own particular stresses involved there. So that means, the different family members are going to be stressed out and, having reactions. Then there's the assumptions that we're making around, schooling and what it's going to be like. And then once you get in there, it's totally different to what you thought. Same with getting married. Getting married is going to be different again as well. I'd probably say one thing for us to watch out for is that we can put too much emphasis on a particular thing happening and think that that's the end result. And we forget that it's a journey. We forget that it's a season.
Yeah.
And we can get too strung up on how something is supposed to work out, particularly for that particular time. It's good to see it as a journey. Yeah.
Yeah. We found this with buying a home as well. The more actually we stressed about it, the more complex and the worse the situation got. The worse we got because we were stressing over it and scrolling through and going auctions and then the moment we relaxed and just recognized that it's a season and just started enjoying that season, it was about a month later we actually found a place privately and fast forward another 3 months we were in a home. So what felt like eternity really when we zoom back out was about a year of our life.
Yeah.
And probably 9 months of that we were stressed, but we didn't need to be.
Yeah, no, you do need to be stressed because, change brings stress. That's a guarantee. So it's a matter of how we handle that stress and, what that stress can actually bring to us. So, if we're seeing it as a bit of a journey, then we can grow through that. And it can totally change the way we think. It can totally change the way we act around things and can stop us from throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah, I got this with friends right now that are getting married and I'm telling them, they're a bit stressed and I'm going, yes, you can be stressed because, it is stressful sometimes getting married. There's a lot to organize, a lot to save up for. But my advice is just don't panic and don't make rash decisions because that's the best advice I can give. Enjoy it. It will be a little stressful. The research shows, getting married is one of those big moments in our life.
Mm-hmm. My niece just had a wedding about a month ago. She'd planned that wedding, her and her partner had planned that wedding for 3 years. And you're looking for a perfect day. Well, it was flooding. It was raining. It was muddy. It was everything you probably didn't want it to be. And I just loved watching my niece enjoy the whole thing. And her partner, Ben, as well. They were just relaxing and enjoying the wedding and loving being there because they had spent 3 years preparing and they weren't going to let whatever happened get in the way. So, yeah, it was great.
I love that. Well, shout out to them if they're listening.
Yes.
So the season that we're in, that's obviously going to have its own stress. It's going to change our mindset a little bit. And so sometimes we need to make temporary or even strategic changes to our finances to best navigate through that season and on to the next one, because a season is only temporary. It's not going to last. It's going to change. So our encouragement to you listeners is don't throw out the plan. Don't go into a mad panic. Seasons are temporary. Look for ways to navigate through those seasons and give yourself a bit of grace in that season by recognizing, being aware of the season that you're in this stage in life.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, the third one is awareness of who's on the journey with us. Who's in your corner? Who's on that journey? Because not everyone's moving in the same direction. So yeah, think about who's on the journey with you. Obviously, if you're married, it's your partner. And, professionally, your accountant, your mortgage broker, financial advisor, your Waymaker advocate. Who are those people that are on the journey with you to help you be aware of the influences, the seasons, the decisions that you're making, and to help you make great decisions and to navigate the different choices that you have?
Well, we got to include in that list, solicitors, and because we need advice around specific law matters, whether it's buying a house or whether it's setting up a will because you just got married. We need those professionals, helping us on our journey and helping us to give us that confidence that we're looking for. The other people that we might need, it might be counselors, it might be doctors. There's lots of professionals that will end up, in our life and part of our life because of the season that we're in, because of the journey that we're taking. And not everyone's journey is going to be the same. So when we're talking to our friends, family, we've all got different journeys, different seasons and different experiences. So it really helps to try and find what are the assumptions we're making around people and around our situation, and are those assumptions correct in regards to our journey, our time, our place, and what we're doing. And it's good to recognise that we've got people there for a specific reason. They're there to help us.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, Archie, what's our final encouragement just to wrap this up and help people be aware in their finances?
Well, we've got to recognise not every influence is a good influence. So we've got advertising there that is influencing us to act in a certain way, and it might be totally contrary to the way we want to act or that we want to be. And so we've got to weigh that up against, what are our plans? What are the non-negotiables that we can have that help us set our course and the way we're going to proceed forward. So, and being aware of the season that we're in, and because as I said before, that season's got a certain amount of stress in it. Some seasons are very stressful. If you've got a child that doesn't want to sleep, I'm sure you're very stressed. Because that child's keeping you awake at nighttime, and that's having an impact on the family. So we've got those things that are happening that can be out of our control. Like we've got interest rates rising right now. Again, there's something out of our control. We've got rising prices out there when it comes to living costs, and so we can start to feel very stressed about that, or we can relax, give ourselves some grace for the season that we're in, and make adjustments. Go back to what's non-negotiable. Go back to your influences that are really important to you, such as your partner and your advisors, and get some good support happening around your thinking and how you're processing things, and stay connected. That's really the key. Stay connected.
Yeah. Keep
working towards enjoying the journey, because every time we overcome a difficulty, that's a big win. We always think that the win's when we get to have the beer at the end, or the red wine, or whatever it might be. But the win is to overcome. That's the win. When we listen to stories and listen to people's lives and that, we always get encouraged by the way they overcome. It wasn't that they kept drinking red wine every Friday night. It was because they overcame the different things that came up in their life and continued on their journey and did well.
That's it. It's all about the journey, not so much
Yep.
the destination, but being on that journey, enjoying every moment and overcoming those challenges, which builds resilience, which we've talked about and we will talk about again in another podcast. So awareness, I love that. Awareness of the influences around us, awareness of the season that we're in, and awareness of who's on the journey with us. Wow, I'm so glad we talked about that today, Archie. So just before we wrap up, guys, if you are looking for those people to be on that journey with you, we'd love to connect you to our Waymaker community. We have everyday Australians who are in this community. They're building wealth, they're overcoming challenges, and we also have professionals who can help you across lending, advice, investing, tax, and everything in between. So click on the link in the show note. We'd love to get connected to you. Thanks, Archie, for a great conversation. We'll be back again real soon.
Thanks, Lachlan. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, before you go, everything we discussed today is for education purposes only, and it does not consider your personal financial goals or situation. Thanks. I'll see you next week.